Hello everyone, this is a quick update to the assassin version of my Lacerate cast on crit. Um, I went over it again, deciding to actually work on some of the issues. The main thing that I did for starters is I changed the kind of skills I use, and I got a Carcass Jack 6-linked. So it's Lacerate with increased critical strikes, cast on crit, poison, blade fall, and blade vortex. And to get some better speed out of it, I'm using this unique, which you don't have to. Like, this was just, you know, since it's assassin, the low crit base doesn't really matter all that much, but it is the reason why I'm actually using the increased critical strike support gem. You can totally get a rare sword that has 2 attacks per second. I just didn't feel like spending like 30 chaos or an exalt on it to get one. So I am using this one. This is sort of the budget version of getting this. And then in the offhand, the brightbeak, which has a little bit more. It has decent enough crit chance and some resists. And this gives you a really good base when dual wielding. And on top of that, obviously you get a bunch of increased radius of area skills and increased area damage from your Carcass Jack, which the damage applies to both Blade Fall and Blade Vortex. And then I changed the skill tree. Well, I guess I should show the Assassin too. You go for the obvious one, the 0.5% critical strike chance per power charge. Is really good, and then Noxious Strike, and then with your last 2 points, you get Toxic Delivery for insane poison damage. Nothing has changed about that. Compared to the previous video, I did cut out all of this. I decided to go back to actually using Poison as a support gem, because it has a 100% chance to apply. And if you actually were to get a Cosprey's Will and 6-link that, this is a pretty decent alternative. You can then remove your poison support gem because you have this, and use another support instead. You can use increased AoE or conk effect depending on whether you want to clear faster or kill bosses. You can swap out as you need. With a better rare sword, you might also get rid of the increased critical strikes one if you can get your crit chance high enough. Going back to the game. So yeah, this was a lot of points to travel down here, and the increased damage over time stuff, while it is helpful, it doesn't do all that much, and I didn't really feel like it was worth the points. It's just better to use a poison gem. Other than that, there's not too much. I believe I rerouted a little bit here to get the increased AoE that I wasn't using. And that is pretty much it, I think. Oh yeah, I did add a frenzy charge, and this might not be the best way of doing this, but I did get conduit and charge on kill just so I would be generating frenzy charges as well. You can of course use other means. You can use uniques that provide frenzy charges, or blood rage or something like that, or ice bite. I didn't really feel like messing with that too much, and I've never actually tried using this, but since this is now a really fast clear speed build, I wanted to see if this is good enough to keep your frenzy charges up, and it certainly is. You then eventually lose them on a boss if it's taking you too long, but for faster clearing, this certainly helps. As a curse, I'm still using Warlord's Mark and Discipline just for a little bit of extra defense. Previously, this build was very similar with a Cycloner, and I had like 7k energy shield, which was quite a bit better, but I am losing this shield, and I think the Carcass Jack has a bit less energy shields. Yeah, not too much. I was using this this chest piece, which has a bit more, but not too much. So Carcass Jack still gives you energy shields. Cospreys, well, wouldn't, so you lose a little bit. And it's also really expensive and hard to get a 6-link. So Carcass Jack probably is the better option. The main thing Cospreys will would give you is an extra support gem, because you can get rid of poison, like I said. And it would allow you to run hexproof maps, basically. Alright, I did roll a map here. Let's see. My defenses are overcapped. Let's run a quick gorge. Also, I am running Val Discipline, but I'm gonna take this out for now. Just so my Val Haste goes up quicker, because I want to demonstrate the clear speed. And it doesn't really kick in. Oh, before I start, I should explain the flasks. The flasks are still taken from my previous build, but we have immunity to bleeding on a Quicksilver, which is also a Surgeon's. So this is really easy to keep up, and this basically just means constant bleed immunity and a little bit of increased movement speed. Then we have a Basalt Flask, which gives us physical damage reduction, which is really, really good for a CI build, because you typically don't get much armor. It is also a Surgeon's, and it has increased movement speed on it. So these two give a lot of movement speed, and then this one has Onslaught, and takes care of freeze, and is also a Surgeon. So all of these are really easy to keep up. And then the last one, Adziri's Promise, just, you know, bit of extra leech, bit of extra damage. And typically this is not needed, but in case I want to run a map that prevents me from regenerating my mana, I have this in here. Alright, so basically I just, as soon as I see some mobs, I just hit all 4 flasks. And here we go. And you can see, like, in terms of attack speed, it's not too great to begin with, but it's also not horrible. Lacerate, bit of a downside there. But as soon as we get our Val Haste up, kick that in, just go crazy. The lag is real. Oh, residence. I like this. And that was the boss. Super quick. Lots of damage. The lag was pretty bad. It's usually not that bad. I'm wondering, like, this could be either just from recording, or there's like a funky map mod that does this. Let's see. No, there's nothing special there. So I'm guessing this is just an artifact of recording. You know, typically CoC builds are on the laggy side for sure. This one surprised me in how it usually wasn't all that laggy, but it's also much faster now, so I'm sure that doesn't help. But yeah, as you can see, tons of damage, really fast. So far, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Dread signing out. Goodbye.